Stop what you are doing. Right now, think about your last grocery trip. How much did you spend? Now cut that number in half. Impossible? Not for the Amish. They've been doing it for generations, using these 20 incredibly simple tricks that modern families have completely forgotten. While we're drowning in grocery apps and coupon chaos, they're quietly saving thousands using nothing but common sense and what most of us consider trash. I'm about to show you exactly how they do it. Buy coffee beans in bulk. Whole bean coffee stays fresh longer and costs significantly less than pre-ground varieties that lose flavor quickly after opening packages. Grind only what you need each morning for maximum flavor, ensuring every cup tastes as good as possible without waste. Cold brew concentrate lasts an entire week in the refrigerator, providing convenient coffee preparation for busy morning schedules efficiently. Coffee shops charge $5 for what costs 50 cents to make at home, proving that convenience has a very expensive price tag. Traditional Amish communities often roast their own coffee beans, understanding that fresh roasting creates superior flavor compared to store-bought alternatives. Bulk coffee purchases reduce packaging waste while providing significant cost savings for daily coffee drinkers throughout the year. Professional coffee roasters use identical beans for expensive retail coffee, making home brewing both economical and potentially superior in quality when proper techniques are applied consistently. Repurpose stale bread. Day-old bread makes superior French toast, bread pudding, and stuffing because slightly dried bread absorbs flavors better than fresh varieties. Grind stale pieces into breadcrumbs for coating chicken and fish, creating free ingredients that cost several dollars per container. Cube and toast for homemade croutons that cost pennies compared to expensive packaged versions with artificial preservatives and excessive sodium. Stale bread is like yesterday's newspaper. Most people throw it away without realizing it. It still has plenty of useful life left in different forms. Amish cooks never waste bread, transforming every piece into something delicious, regardless of age or texture changes over time. Stale bread actually works better for many recipes because moisture content decreases, allowing better absorption of eggs and seasonings. Understanding how to repurpose aging bread prevents waste while creating valuable ingredients that enhance other recipes throughout the week. Buy block cheese. Whole cheese blocks cost much less per pound than pre-shredded varieties that include anti-caking agents and preservatives for extended shelf life. Grate only what you need to prevent waste and maintain freshness, since pre-shredded cheese loses moisture and flavor quickly. Hard cheeses freeze well when properly wrapped for later use, allowing bulk purchases during sales without spoilage concerns or quality loss. Pre-shredded cheese is like paying someone to tear up your $20 bills into smaller pieces and charge you extra for the convenience. Amish make their own cheese from farm fresh milk, creating superior products that cost a fraction of store prices. Anti-caking agents in pre-shredded cheese prevent proper melting, affecting texture in recipes that require smooth cheese sauces or toppings throughout cooking. Block cheese maintains superior flavor and melting properties while providing significant cost savings for families who use cheese regularly in cooking and meal preparation. Master fermentation basics. Fermented foods like sauerkraut and pickles preserve vegetables naturally without canning equipment, creating healthy foods that last months without refrigeration or artificial preservatives. Fermentation increases nutritional value while extending storage time significantly, transforming simple vegetables into probiotic-rich foods that support digestive health naturally through beneficial bacteria. Basic salt and thyme methods require no special ingredients or tools, making traditional food preservation accessible to modern families without expensive equipment or complicated procedures. Fermentation is like having helpful bacteria work as unpaid kitchen assistants, except they never complain and always improve everything they touch. Amish families ferment vegetables routinely, understanding that beneficial bacteria create both preservation and enhanced nutrition through natural biological processes that have worked for centuries. Fermented foods contain more vitamins than fresh vegetables because bacterial action breaks down nutrients into more bioavailable forms throughout the preservation process, making this ancient technique both economical and healthful. Plan around weekly sales. Check store advertisements before planning any meals for the week, building entire shopping lists around discounted items instead of creating fixed menus that ignore pricing. Build entire menus around whatever proteins and produce cost least, creating flexible meal planning that adapts to current market prices and seasonal availability. Keep flexible recipe lists that work with commonly discounted ingredients, ensuring meals remain interesting despite budget constraints throughout different seasons and economic conditions. Amish families plan meals around seasonal availability and local sales, understanding that flexibility creates better value than rigid menu planning that ignores market fluctuations. Store sales cycles repeat predictably, allowing smart shoppers to anticipate discounts and stock up when prices drop significantly below regular pricing. Strategic meal planning around sales reduces grocery costs by 30% without sacrificing nutrition or meal variety throughout the week. Professional meal planners use identical strategies to maximize food budgets for large institutional operations. Frozen fish. Frozen fish costs half as much as fresh with identical nutrition, debunking the myth that fresh always means better quality or value. Canned salmon provides same omega-3 benefits as expensive fresh varieties while lasting months in pantry storage without refrigeration needs. Learn to fillet whole fish for maximum savings per pound, turning expensive seafood into affordable family meals with basic knife skills. Fish markets are like fancy restaurants. They charge you double for the privilege of someone else doing the work you could do yourself. Amish communities near water sources have mastered fish preservation techniques that extend seafood availability throughout entire seasons. Flash frozen fish often contains more nutrients than fresh fish that traveled long distances before reaching store shelves. Professional restaurants frequently use frozen fish because quality remains consistent year-round. Understanding fish selection and preparation transforms expensive protein into budget-friendly family meals that provide essential nutrients without breaking household budgets throughout weekly meal planning. Stretch meat with smart fillers. Mix lentils into ground beef to double protein content while cutting costs dramatically without affecting taste or texture noticeably during meals. Add rice to soups and stews to feed twice as many people from the same amount of expensive protein ingredients available. Oats blended into meatloaf extend portions by 30% invisibly, creating larger servings without increasing meat expenses significantly throughout the week. These techniques come straight from Amish kitchens, where resourcefulness turns modest ingredients into abundant family meals that satisfy everyone completely. Smart fillers add fiber and nutrients while reducing the need for expensive animal proteins in every recipe you prepare. Restaurant chains use similar methods to control food costs while maintaining customer satisfaction and portion expectations consistently. Lentils provide complete amino acid profiles when combined with grains, creating nutritionally superior meals than meat alone could ever provide, while significantly reducing grocery expenses. Turn scraps into gold. Potato peels become crispy snacks when fried in a pan with salt instead of heading straight to the trash bin. Chicken bones simmer into rich, flavorful broth that costs nothing but time and transforms ordinary meals into restaurant-quality dishes. Vegetable trimmings create a free soup base that Amish cooks use as liquid gold for countless recipes. Most people throw away 30% of their food purchases without realizing these scraps contain tremendous value. Smart families save hundreds of dollars yearly by viewing kitchen waste as untapped ingredients rather than actual garbage. The average household discards $400 worth of perfectly usable food scraps annually. Even chicken feathers make good fertilizer, proving that almost nothing from food preparation needs to become waste. This mindset shift from disposal to utilization represents fundamental Amish resourcefulness that maximizes every food purchase dollar. Grow your own herbs. $20 seed packets yield $600 worth of vegetables annually when planted and maintained properly throughout the growing season. Windowsill herb gardens provide fresh seasonings year-round for pennies, eliminating expensive store purchases that often go bad before use. No transportation costs or wasteful packaging gets involved when you grow food directly in your own space. Amish have mastered small space gardening techniques that maximize production while minimizing effort and investment required. Fresh herbs contain significantly more flavor and nutritional value compared to dried store versions that sit on shelves for months. A single basil plant produces enough leaves for an entire summer of cooking, while store-bought fresh basil costs $4 per tiny package. Homegrown herbs stay fresh longer because you harvest only what you need immediately. Container gardening works in apartments and small spaces, making fresh herb production accessible to virtually any living situation while providing substantial savings. Split giant bags with neighbors. 50-pound flour sacks cost 60% less per pound than small bags, but most families cannot use that quantity before spoilage occurs naturally. Share bulk rice, beans, and oats with 3 neighboring families to maximize savings while preventing waste completely. Coordinate buying trips to warehouse stores for even bigger discounts on items everyone uses regularly throughout the month. Amish excel at community cooperation that benefits every participating household without creating complicated arrangements or paperwork. Group purchasing power rivals corporate buying programs while building stronger neighborhood relationships that last for years. Warehouse stores offer incredible savings on bulk items, but require strategic planning to avoid waste and spoilage. Community buying groups can access wholesale pricing normally reserved for restaurants and businesses, making this cooperation financially beneficial for all participants who commit to shared purchasing agreements and fair distribution of bulk goods among neighboring families. Learn traditional canning. A single canning day preserves hundreds of dollars worth of seasonal produce that would otherwise spoil or require expensive off-season purchasing later. Home canned goods taste superior to store-bought versions while containing no artificial preservatives or mysterious additives that extend shelf life unnaturally. No artificial preservatives or mysterious additives get included when you control every ingredient that goes into your preserved foods completely. Canning is like time travel for vegetables, except instead of going to the future, summer vegetables visit you all winter long. The Amish rely on traditional canning methods that have safely preserved food for generations without requiring expensive equipment or complicated procedures. Properly canned foods maintain nutritional value for years while providing convenient meal components during busy seasons when fresh cooking becomes challenging. Government extension services provide free canning guides and safety information for modern families interested in learning these valuable skills. Buy whole chickens. Whole chickens cost 1/3 the price of pre-cut parts, providing identical meat with significant savings for families willing to learn basic skills. Learning to cut chickens takes 5 minutes and saves hundreds annually compared to purchasing expensive pre-cut pieces from grocery stores regularly. Use every part, including bones, skin, and organ meat, maximizing nutrition and value from each bird purchased for family meals completely. Buying pre-cut chicken is like paying someone to unwrap your Christmas presents, except it costs more, and you miss all the good parts inside. The Amish waste nothing from chickens, understanding that every part provides nutrition or flavor enhancement for future meals throughout weeks. Chicken bones create rich stock that forms the foundation for countless soups, stews, and gravies that taste professional quality. Rendered chicken fat provides excellent cooking medium for vegetables, while organ meats offer concentrated nutrition that most families discard without realizing their value. Slow-cooked tough cuts. Cheap shoulder roasts become tender after 8 hours of slow cooking, transforming tough, inexpensive cuts into restaurant-quality meals effortlessly and deliciously. Dried beans cost 75% less than canned versions, while providing superior flavor and texture when cooked properly from scratch. Large batches provide multiple meals with minimal active cooking time, allowing busy families to prepare several days' worth of food simultaneously. Slow cookers are like having a personal chef who works for the cost of electricity and never asks for a raise. The Amish discovered long ago that patience creates better food than expensive cuts or complicated cooking techniques ever could produce. Tough cuts contain more collagen, which breaks down into gelatin during slow cooking, creating richer, more flavorful broths and sauces. Professional kitchens rely on slow cooking methods to transform inexpensive ingredients into premium menu items that customers pay high prices to enjoy. Master dried bean cooking. Dried beans provide complete protein when paired with rice or corn, creating nutritionally balanced meals that cost a fraction of meat-based alternatives available. 1 cup of dried beans expands to 3 cups when cooked properly, providing substantial portions that satisfy hunger for hours effectively. Soak overnight, then simmer slowly for creamy, flavorful results that surpass canned beans in both taste and texture quality completely. Amish cooks understand that patience creates better beans than any quick cooking method or expensive canned substitute ever could produce satisfactorily. Dried beans cost 80% less than canned versions, while providing superior flavor and texture when prepared from scratch carefully. Different bean varieties offer unique flavors and textures, creating meal variety that prevents boredom with repetitive protein sources throughout weeks. Professional restaurants prefer dried beans for their superior texture and ability to absorb flavors during long cooking processes that create memorable dining experiences. Make friends with a butcher. Regular customers learn exactly when meat gets marked down each week by building genuine relationships with butcher counterstaff members. Ask directly about upcoming sales before advertisements appear in newspapers or online promotional materials. Request personal notification when your favorite cuts go on clearance, turning store employees into money-saving allies who remember your preferences. The Amish understand that people help people they know and like, creating win-win relationships that benefit everyone involved in the transaction. These connections save serious money while ensuring better quality meat selections every single shopping trip you make. Butchers possess insider knowledge about delivery schedules, markdown timing, and hidden inventory that casual shoppers never access. Building rapport takes time, but pays dividends for years through better prices and premium service that makes grocery shopping more efficient. Cash envelope system. Take exact budgeted cash divided into labeled paper envelopes for different categories like meat, produce, and dairy products specifically. When the meat envelope empties, no more meat gets purchased during that shopping trip, creating firm spending boundaries. Credit cards stay home completely to eliminate overspending temptation and keep families within predetermined limits every single time. Amish communities have used this system for generations because cash makes spending feel real and immediate. Credit cards are like having a rich uncle who never says no until the bill arrives at the end of the month. Physical money creates psychological barriers that digital payments never establish, reducing grocery spending by 25% on average. Studies show people spend 12 to 18% more when using credit cards compared to cash transactions, making this strategy scientifically proven effective. Share tools with your neighbors. Expensive equipment like pressure canners gets shared among several families, reducing individual costs while building stronger community relationships throughout neighborhoods and local areas. Food dehydrators and grain mills serve entire communities efficiently, maximizing utility while minimizing individual investment in specialized kitchen equipment that gets used infrequently. Coordinate purchases of specialized tools to reduce individual costs, creating informal equipment libraries that benefit everyone involved in shared ownership arrangements that work. Sharing kitchen tools with neighbors is like having a hardware store next door, except everyone gets to use everything without paying rent. The Amish excel at community resource sharing, understanding that cooperation reduces individual expenses while strengthening social bonds between families and creating mutual support networks. Tool sharing requires trust and organization, but provides access to expensive equipment that most families use infrequently throughout the year, making community cooperation both economically and socially beneficial. Follow the 72-hour rule. Wait 3 full days before purchasing any non-essential item over $20, allowing time for rational decision-making instead of emotional impulse buying that depletes budgets. Most impulse grocery purchases seem unnecessary after cooling-off periods, preventing waste and buyer's remorse that drains household budgets unnecessarily throughout monthly shopping cycles. Distinguish between actual needs and momentary wants before spending money, creating conscious purchasing decisions that align with family priorities and long-term financial goals. The 72-hour rule is like a financial fire extinguisher. It prevents small spending sparks from becoming budget-burning wildfires. Amish practice deliberate purchasing decisions, avoiding impulse buying that leads to cluttered homes and depleted savings accounts that compromise financial security. Retailers design stores to encourage immediate purchases, making delayed decision-making a powerful tool against marketing manipulation. Track your savings. Keep detailed receipts and calculate exact money saved each month, creating concrete evidence of successful budget management and smart shopping strategies that actually work. Notice which specific strategies work best for your family situation, allowing refinement of money-saving techniques that produce maximum results for your household circumstances. Celebrate milestone achievements like cutting bills by 25%, maintaining motivation for continued frugal living practices throughout challenging economic periods and inflation. Amish communities track household expenses carefully, understanding that awareness creates better financial decisions than unconscious spending patterns that drain resources without providing value. Written records reveal spending patterns that surprise most families, showing where money disappears without providing corresponding value or satisfaction to household members. Professional financial advisors recommend expense tracking because measurement enables improvement in all areas of personal finance management and wealth building. Successful budget management requires consistent monitoring and adjustment based on actual spending data rather than estimates.